So look, here we go. We are Liggity Live. All right. Everything's working the way that it should. So you already know what it is, man. It's your man, SumOfMan, like the grand total. We got my mans right here, Mr. Noir King R6, hard as bricks. And y'all are on the Black Men Meet. Today's topic. Do you want to tell them about it, Noir King?
Oh, yes, sir. So today's topic, we are going to go over Nintendo's new share program, or what is it, Nintendo Live, I guess?
Yeah, expansion. The expansion pack.
Yes, and also going to go over a little bit of the pay models and DLCs, the birth of DLCs in video games, man. You know, that's a long one. That's a meaty one.
That's facts. That's facts.
But I believe though today we will be able to handle it.
I think so. I think we're prepared. We're ready. Okay. And in being ready, finances actually is really important to me. Me and my lady was talking about it the other day. We were talking about like things that are at our core, and for me, economics in this day and age, right? And so, before you let anybody lie to you, video game developers want to get money.
Yes.
Okay, they need to get money. They need to get paid, or they cannot do the work that they're doing. They can do the work, but their family's gonna suffer. All right, and they ain't about to let that happen, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. I got a family. I'm not gonna let it happen.
And man, it's so funny because no more harder do we see this than in today's day and age. When I know when video games were at their peak, it was really weird because in the 80s, people actually worked at companies to make video games. Yeah. But in the 90s, when I was growing up, they were in their houses, their basements, apartment buildings, college dorm rooms making games. It was crazy.
That's
crazy time. But on to this Nintendo thing. So just to go over this a little bit, if you guys didn't know, if you had Nintendo Online right now, you had access to the Nintendo shop for like the classic games, for like the NES and the Super NES, which is awesome. Both those are awesome. And if memory serves correct, they're now adding 3 new features to the expansion, correct?
Yes. So yeah, they are. So the features are, they give you Breath of the Wild, the DLC, for free. They also give you access to old Nintendo 64 games, as well as old Dreamcast games. Currently, they actually give you access to Super Nintendo games and regular Nintendo games, and they have like a rotating system where you can play different games for free every month. Or every couple of months. I don't know exactly how they do it, but they have like a system where they give you free games, and then they'll shuffle out other games.
Okay. Honestly, I think it's great. Now, here is though the number one thing, my concern for it. So right now, if the price model, the way they're gonna roll this out, if you have it right now, right, you get access to the first stuff. Then for like, I think it's a year, you get the access to the next stuff. Now, I didn't know about the Dreamcast stuff personally. That's new to me.
So not Dreamcast, Genesis.
Genesis, okay. I was like, Dreamcast, well, I'm getting on that right now, but no. You get Genesis 64 and Genesis 64 and something else. There's one other thing that you get. Oh, free DLC, like you said. You get free Animal Crossing.
Free Animal Crossing DLC.
So here is where I have a problem personally. Okay, when Sony first announced they were going to do an online program to match Microsoft, but they were going to launch it for free, everybody was like, what? No dedicated servers, no nothing. No, it's just your internet. Nintendo kind of did the same thing with theirs, and they charge you $3.99 for it, but like I said, you get access to all of the Super Nintendo and the NES games. That's awesome. That is a great deal. You feel me?
Yeah.
I don't care what way you look at it. So to add more to that and then ask for another $20, but you get the whole catalog, as much as I don't approve of that, I can't help but say that's a pretty good deal.
It is. It is. And Nintendo has already been the cheapest running online gaming platform. You know, as far as like the big three. It costs like $3 a month or something like that, $20 a year for the service. I mean, it's not as expansive as Xbox or PlayStation, but it does the trick. It does the job. You know, people complain about it a lot, but I think it's really not as bad as people say it is. I'm gonna keep it real.
No.
I really have not experienced that much trouble when it came to, Switch Online, and I had a lot of fun with Switch Online. I primarily played Smash Brothers Ultimate for like the first maybe 6 months to a year online, and any skill that I gained was online skill. I did not have people to play with. I was playing online. I was like, I felt like I was living in the shack, and it was cool. It was decent. It was decent. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny, but no, I feel that. Yeah, man, that is so true though. Like, it is so good.
Yeah, but like, come on, who doesn't want to play N64 games, bro? Like, hey, people were complaining. They're like, "Oh no, GoldenEye is not there." I'm like, you know, they're gonna put GoldenEye, bro.
Who is complaining on the go?
Twitter.
What?
Twitter.
I swear,
Facebook.
You can never.
Okay.
Can never be happy.
Gamers. Look, I'm shouting out to Facebook. Gamers over 30, bro. From the Gamers over 30 Facebook group, somebody was like, "Oh, but GoldenEye is not there. Like, it's weak. I'm not paying for it. They don't even got GoldenEye." I'm like,
"What are you talking about?
They're gonna put GoldenEye. They're gonna have GoldenEye."
Bro, you need somebody parry that casual right now, because like, what is that, bro? No way. You can't. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I will just make a confession here to the show and to the people of the internet. I did not like Majora's Mask. Everybody gets on me for not liking Majora's Mask. I'm sorry. I don't like time limits in video games, and that was one of the first ones that introduced me to time limits.
And it sucked. Okay, the only reason I knew what to do is because I had Game Informer magazine, and they told you. They told you the secrets. Because without that, I wouldn't have known. Because I didn't have it. My partner had it, and he was like, "Bro, I lost this game 3 times. Can you help me?" I'm like, "Hold on, bro. Game Informer page 64. They said Majora's Mask. Do what you need to do." And it was weird. You had to like do some weird shit with the game that you would never think of on your own.
Like, not at all. Like, bro, like when I say that Majora's Mask was the bane of my existence as a child, I mean it. I had never beat it, and I probably never will. I'm sticking to my guns on that. Like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, there's just some things I will never finish. Okay.
Wait, hold on, bro. Yep. Wait a minute. Yep. You didn't just say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, did you?
Yep. I will die on that hill, but I'm sorry. I watched. We talked about this before. No. I watched Full Metal.
We didn't talk about this, man.
I watched Full Metal in its entirety, right?
It was good. It was cool. It was nice.
Okay, first off, there's nothing in the world I hate more than that show, because the Nazis. They were the Nazis. The dad created the Nazi party, okay? And then they try to justify it by saying, "Oh, well, the energy that's used, the Holocaust, the energy from the Holocaust was used to power the alchemy, bro." No, there's absolutely no place.
The brothers were against it, though. The brothers were against it. The brothers, they weren't having it. They were like, "Nah, bro, you can't do that, dog."
Bro, every time Al or the brother or whoever his name was clapped his hands, all I could think about was the gas chambers, bro. That's it. Ooh. So no, I'm sorry.
I feel it.
Sorry.
I feel it.
So now, back to the mission at hand. So, with that,
brother, you gotta see that. you gotta see it, bro. I will have a watch party just for you, so you can finish. What episode you want? Let me know.
Anyways, besides Majora's Mask, okay, I'm playing Super Mario 64 again because I got the All-Star Collection. I was lucky enough to find a copy of that. So I'm playing that. So I have a deep love for Nintendo, and like I said on the show before, I didn't have a 64. I started with PlayStation, so being able to go back and play in Star Fox 64 again when I was only able to play it at my friend's house, that's great to me. You feel me? That I would pay for the year for that. But at the same time, I'm also a grown man and I gotta pay for gas. So like,
Yeah, exactly.
ah.
Exactly. And oh my, hey, you know what, bruh? I was thinking about paying for it, and this is totally some side shit, but the shit is only like $80 for 8 consoles. And I was thinking about getting this shit for my kids, man, because my son got a Switch, my daughter got a Switch, I got a Switch, so that's 3. I still got 5 consoles that I can share this with. We could pay the same amount of money that we paying right now. We all go $20 in. I can go 40 because I'm getting the hell of them. And we'll pay the same $20 we was already paying and get all the benefits of the expanded pack for all of these Switch systems.
Nah, see, and when you look at it like that, like when you have multiple consoles like that, multiple people dedicated to play with you, yeah, of course. Like if I had like a pool of people I was playing with, like me and my brothers once going on it, for sure, yeah, why not? Like you said, it's $20 split between like 4 or 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Bro, you could pay $10. You could pay less than what you're paying right now and get better service. I'm dead ass, boy. Hit me off line. We can talk about this because I was gonna get the shit anyways, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with these other consoles? You know?
No, that's facts.
I'd rather just go in with the homies, for real. And it's cheap. It's cheap as fuck, bro.
It is.
I don't know why people are complaining.
That's because people love to complain about any and everything, man. Unfortunately, everybody's gonna say something about somebody somewhere sometime.
Mm-hmm. No, that's facts. And I think that's kind of, it speaks to a bigger issue within the gaming, like not industry, but the gaming world as a whole. And what I really mean is players of games, right? We're in the FGC, and like there's always a lot of complaints about games in FGC, and I don't want to get too off topic, but I realized that a lot of these people who are complaining, they're just casual players. They're not even like high level competitive players. And some of these people listen to these high level competitive players religiously, even though they don't even know what they're talking about. Like they don't, like a casual doesn't understand what a high level player is saying, but they'll still quote what they said as if it's the God-given truth.
No, that's true. That's true. And
it's the same when it comes to these games. When it comes to the prices of games and how much games cost and all that kind of stuff, and people are getting mad at Nintendo, but they're the cheapest service around, bro. Like literally, I have 3 Switches, right? The ones I mentioned, and I don't pay for any games on my son's Switch. I don't pay for any games on my daughter's Switch, and she has a blast. She has a blast. All right, and I don't even pay for internet on their Switches. I pay for internet on my own Switch, and they can still download shit. I can still download shit for them on their Switch for the same $3 fucking I was spending a month. All right,
Nintendo is lit like that.
Like I'm not. If I bought a PlayStation or an Xbox, I have to get my profile on there, and I can only share the 2 consoles and shit. I have to, and then I have to pay another $20 a month for Game Pass. No, bruh, no. No.
By the way, that is not a dig at Xbox, because Game Pass is
awesome. Game Pass, you know what? Game Pass is the reason that we having this conversation. Game Pass is the reason this shit exists. All right, PS Now, that's because of Game Pass. Okay. That is because of Game Pass. Okay.
Yeah, look, again, if all y'all Sony boys out there, again, I grew up on PlayStation. All y'all out there, PlayStation is the best. No, Microsoft has the best internet when it comes to gaming on console, period. They started it, they will end it. That's just what it is. If y'all don't like it, tough titty. I will never forget that Halo launch party on G4.
That was nice. Their stuff was good. Their stuff was good, but hey, look, I think that Xbox servers is falling behind. I don't know what it is, bro, with Xbox, but they need to fix their shit. Look,
that's because they got hacked. Remember when they got hacked? Mm-hmm. They had to upgrade their security like 50 times over. That's what happened.
And it fucked them up, because now I think that the worst place to play Dragon Ball FighterZ, besides Switch, is Xbox. Switch damn near doesn't count. Like playing fighters on Switch, bro.
That's not even.
You might as well not be playing fighters, bro. You might as well not even play the game. You might as well play. If you're gonna play fighters on Switch, play Animal Crossing.
For real. Or just
Don't
pick
do
up
it.
Super Smash Bros. Like any other real Switch player would. Play some real on your console.
Do not buy a Switch to play Fighters on, bro. You better get that shit on a computer. But the second worst place is Xbox. It is it's pain, bro. It is straight pain. It only happens with Xbox. And I was just talking to my brother today, and he got the new Xbox, right, just like you, and he cannot play the console, the old version of 2K22. He can only play the next gen version of 2K22. But on PlayStation, I could buy the next gen version and I'll get the current gen version, and I can choose which one I want to play, and I can choose which one I want to download. And it's like that with a lot of games. And the fact that Xbox cannot do that is ass. All right. The fact that Xbox has so much trouble with two different kinds of Xboxes connecting to each other, ass.
That has been a problem. That has been a problem for a very long time. I will never forget this. Back when I was at GameStop, one of my coworkers, we were at his house. It was burning, and he was like, "Man, I'm about to play." We were playing Geometry Wars, which that game is great when he's stoned. And he was like, "Let me turn on the Kingdom Hearts." Plugged in his Zune, right, which is a Microsoft product, and we sat there for 30 minutes while we waited for the two to connect. These are two Microsoft products having problems connecting with each other in the same room on a wired connection. So I don't know what it is that they got going on, but you plug it into the internet, it works. But you plug it into itself, it's like, what the hell is this? What did you do to me?
Exactly. So I have a problem with that. They need to fix their servers, bro. They need to fix their peer-to-peer connections, bro. I don't know what the hell they need to do, but they need to fix it. Right now, in my book, PlayStation's winning. PlayStation Now, bro. PlayStation Now.
It's actually pretty good. They just dropped The Last of Us 2.
Like, The Last of Us 2? I wasn't going to play this game, but now I can.
I can. Yeah.
Bro, and the fucking streaming shit. See, Xbox is weird, right? Xbox, you can stream on your computer, right? But you can't stream to your Xbox. PlayStation, you can't stream to the computer, but you can stream to the PlayStation. Yep. I'm like, I don't need to stream to my computer if I can stream to the PlayStation. Like I literally play games that I don't have downloaded. Like For Honor, I play For Honor, don't have it downloaded. Doesn't take up space on my hard drive. I'm like, bro, this is beautiful.
Yeah, For Honor is a pretty decent game. I want to kind of get back into it a little bit more.
It is, and speaking of For Honor, we're talking about gaming pay models.
Okay.
What do you think of the microtransactions in video games?
May I take this for a second here? So when how do I put this? Microtransactions have always been the nasty underbelly of video games. That's just how it has been. Where it really, now this is video game history, where it really took its ugly ass face and threw it in everybody's face. Assassin's Creed 2. Okay. Now a lot of people don't understand when they be like, "What do you mean Assassin's Creed 2?" Like, no way. Assassin's Creed 2, the only way that you could finish the main campaign that you paid for was to buy the DLC.
Really?
Yes. The absolute last level in the game was locked behind a paywall, and that is what started the people will really stop and they will buy this if they want to beat the game, right? And that was quiet. It was subtle. Like my man's right here don't even remember that happened. Now here's something crazy. Right after Assassin's Creed 2, we got Call of Duty. And Call of Duty 2 came out. And when Call of Duty 2 came out, it had a DLC system. It was the first person shooter in that field that had a pay to win. That had not a pay to win, but you could buy items in the game that you couldn't get normally. You could just skip ahead by paying for it. And this is the second biggest game in the world at this point, right? Probably the first, because Halo, actually, no, I'll say second, because Halo was still number one when Modern Warfare 2 was out.
Mm-hmm.
But after Modern Warfare 2 came out, we got Modern Warfare, well, we got World at War, not Modern Warfare. We got World at War, and World at War had a few things in there. Number one, it had zombies, right? Number two, it had DLC for the zombies. How do I remember this? You could buy Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Merle from The Walking Dead, and two other people who I can't remember, right? But you could use, it was like a whole DLC thing. That was huge. That's a hella units, right? Out of this world. Mind you, while all this is going on, other companies are seeing this and they're trying to figure out ways to create microtransactions in the games, right? And it just progressively gets worse as time goes on. Nothing has gotten worse than FIFA and the sports games. They got it the worst out of all the DLCs.
You mean EA in general, bro?
Yes,
Let's
we all
not
know.
forget Battlefield.
Yes, and we all know where this Battlefront. Just gonna say, we all know where the damn broke Battlefront, where it was. Who literally stopped playing multiplayer games because of DLC. Okay, I went to play Battlefield 2. This is one of the last games I was hyped for because I had already been burned by so many season passes and so much other DLC for video games. Batman Arkham Asylum, Deus Ex.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Batman Arkham Asylum. $40 for the DLC before they had even announced any pieces of it. Okay, yeah, they had announced no DLC for the season pass for Batman. Then they were charging you $40 for it before they had even announced it. And then when they did announce it, all the DLC was only ranked 6. Nothing made it over a 7. So I was just like, right, it is. And it wasn't even really that bad from the standpoint of a Batman fan. But if you're not a fan of Batman, then why are you even here? So when EA did Battlefield, what it did was it showed just how predatory they really could be in a video game without it being illegal. You could not level up in that game. When you, in the very first build for Battlefront 2, there was no level up system. The only way that you could level up was by opening boxes, and those boxes would drop you XP, and those XP would level you up. So
that's crazy.
So you say, well, that's not really that bad. This is when the term pay to win really started to take effect. For I think it was like $100, you could just turn the game around, and then boom, no matter what, nobody's ever gonna catch up to you because you have enough money to just keep outpacing them. No worries. So don't worry, guys, he's coming right back. So with that being said, though, people, it was unbelievable. Now, circling back, because as I mentioned, no one got it harder than the sports games. Okay, Madden and NCAA, NHL, FIFA, NASCAR, whatever, any way that they could, they were squeezing money out of you. You want new uniforms? That's gonna cost credit. You want new shoes? That's gonna cost credits. You want individual paint? That's gonna cost credits. Why is it that I have to buy the color black? That's where it's gotten to now. You have to buy the color black. You gotta buy the color blue. Like Gears of War, a game that literally is about stomping in people's faces, has microtransactions for cosmetic items. Like, I want to put rainbows on my gun. What kind of message is that send? Hey, chainsaw rainbow gun. Yeah, that's awesome. No. That breaks immersion, bro. That breaks immersion. Now, there's 2 areas where I do genuinely accept DLC. Fighting games, because I don't mind that you gave me 24 characters, 12 characters, 15 characters, 13 characters, whatever at the beginning. as long as you give me the option to buy more, and you give me a roadmap that says I'm gonna have this game for at least 2 years. Because Mortal Kombat 11 was supported for about 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm. And it had a lot of really good DLC characters.
It did. But unfortunately, that game, I don't know. They said Mortal Kombat 10 was the horror game. Mortal Kombat 11 was the action game. So what is Mortal Kombat 12 gonna be? The sad movie? We're gonna get a whole bunch of sad characters like the Ring, the lady from the Ring, and like what if we got Ryan Gosling from the Notebook? And then for the next game, is all about love,
love and sadness. It's like people getting their heart broken. The girl from Titanic.
Oh, we get their fatality is they drop the Titanic on you. Yes, the iceberg, and then another one is you hit the iceberg, you just fall over. Oh shit! Oh no, her fatality is there's not enough room. She just pushes you off the stage.
She pushes you off. You just sink in the water.
Oh.
That would actually be a really good fatality. I ain't gonna lie. If NetherRealm's ever used that, y'all know where you got it from, man.
Oh yeah, you know, hey, royalty checks.
Need those. Need that.
But nah, man. Okay, so SumOfMan, I got a question for you, man. Can you recall one of your instances where you bought a DLC and almost immediately regretted it?
Bro, I bought a DLC and almost immediately regretted it. You know, I try not to buy too many DLCs, and I'm kind of like an all or nothing player, right? Like some DLCs are better than other DLCs, but some DLCs suck. Like I usually get fighting games, and so I might get a character in there that's trash or a character that I don't want to play, but then I'll get like a character or two in the season pass where I'm like, okay, it's worth it. It's worth it. I cannot remember a time recently where I bought a DLC and I just wasn't happy about it, but I can remember a game that I paid full price for that was trash, and that game was Avengers. And I feel like
we can talk that.
I feel like with Avengers, I actually bought the expensive version that came with the season pass, and because the game is trash, I also don't want the season pass. I have all the characters and I don't give a fork because the game is trash and the game has remained trash, and they pile more trash on it by bringing in 2 versions of Hawkeye into the same game.
I know, right?
Who asked for that, bro?
Nobody.
Why would you do that? Hawkeye's not even a good character. Hawkeye is Captain America with arrows, bro. Like, and you already have Black Widow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
yeah,
bro.
No, bro. Y'all could have had anybody.
We asked you for Black Panther a year ago, and y'all are just now getting that shit together. Y'all didn't say nothing about it. Y'all could have been like, look, bro, we got some special plan for Black Panther. No, y'all don't say that. Y'all say, hey, man, here's another Hawkeye.
Yep. And that brings up a really good point too, because the Avengers game was based on a pay-to-win model. Because here's something that's very interesting. Why I stayed away from this game, it makes perfect sense now. It wasn't the gameplay, it wasn't the story, it wasn't the characters, it wasn't the fact that they looked like bargain off-brand Avengers. No, it was I immediately saw what they were doing in that game, and I stayed away from it like a fucking I don't know. I stayed away from it like a bad habit, because I saw immediately as a comic book fan, okay, y'all see the Iron Man in the back right there, okay, right over there, right up there. Yeah, my finger's pointing in the right place. Okay, so that Iron Man back there, that's real to me. Okay, I genuinely love Iron Man's armors. Okay, all of them. Like one of my favorites is the I don't want to say it's the Mark 1 from the Ultimate series with the weird face and it's like kick a bogey. Love that armor. That's not present in the game. And you know why? Because you can't make it. You know why? Because they don't allow you to express yourself through armor combinations or any type of item augmentations throughout the game whatsoever, because they lock every single outfit behind a paywall.
And you know what? They do got some good outfits, but every single one is locked behind a paywall and a grind wall, and the grind sucks. And that's why the game sucks.
And that's the other thing too. In Destiny, okay, somebody wrote a review for Destiny that was really great, and then they said something that stuck with me so hard. Why do people love and defend Destiny so much? Well, most of the people who play Destiny are the people who wanted to be politicians, wanted to be the president, pop stars, rock stars, all that shit, and they never got to achieve that. But you play Destiny and you get this really cool armor that no one else has, then you get to feel that way. The Avengers wanted you to feel that so hard, but they didn't give you the customizable armor to do so. I don't care if Black Widow is blonde and she's wearing jeans and this is like an alternate costume. What does that have to do for me? That doesn't do shit for me. You know why? Are those jeans torn with the special gene ability that I have? No. Are my guns amped up with special electric bullets that I found in the field? No.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they let you get the shit, but they don't let you even use or experience the shit.
Spines for the whole
spines. Spines. You find spines, bro. Like, imagine having a fucking metallic Hulk spine. That shit would be so dope. But you can't put it on. They let you look at it in the menu. You're like, yeah, I'm adding the spine to this character, and then you don't see the difference. The difference in real life in the game is just numbers, and you never feel powerful in that game. I was the Hulk getting my ass beat by minions, by creeps. Okay, I'm like, why does this hurt so bad? Why did my punch not break his neck? Okay,
I was gonna say the worst defense of that game is that Iron Man and Thor play the exact same, yet they are two different characters. Captain America and Black Widow are the same character, and the Hulk, unfortunately, is the weakest character in the universe.
Yes.
Why?
You might as well be the healer. Okay, in that game.
And now they're gonna release Guardians of the Galaxy, which honestly it looks like they learned from their mistakes, and they're only making this single player. They're only making it like a contained thing. So I actually am kind of gonna excited for it. I'm actually gonna pick it up myself personally, but it just goes to show you that if we complain enough, kids, they'll listen.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta complain.
Now, Batman Arkham.
EA listen.
Now, Batman Arkham Knights. Oh boy, am I terrified for this game. I made mention on this on my Facebook. Yep, that I fear like this is going to be another straight Destiny model game, which if you haven't played Far Cry 6 is Destiny without the Destiny part, okay? It's just not good. It looks pretty. It looks pretty. It has crazy DLC. It has the absolute worst from Far Cry New Dawn, which is that weak ass RPG element. So every enemy has a health bar. You can only kill enemies with certain. Yeah, every enemy has a different type of bullet, almost like an RPG kind of. What? Somebody is blending in the background.
It's the water, bro. It's the water in the pipes, right in the back.
But yeah, no, and it's just I don't know. Somebody made a good point in the review because I'm playing the game right now. I'm not streaming it because again, I just don't feel like it's a game worth streaming for me. It's boring to be honest. Like it's one of those things where you go from one spot to another. I never thought I'd say this, but I have more freedom of expression of self in Death Stranding than I do playing Far Cry 6 in a game that is literally designed for you to do whatever you want. I have more freedom in Death Stranding, and that's crazy to think so because Death Stranding is quite literally walk from one place to the next, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah. There's like enemies every now and then, but Death Stranding is quite literally a giant fetch quest. Like you literally are a mailman in every sense of the word.
Death Stranding. Okay, I was thinking of Death Loops. Yes, that's crazy.
Yes. That you Deathloop, on the other hand, looks dope.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was completely different. I was fooled. Death Stranding. Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel it. And, you know, that's where, like, a pay-to-win model could lose in a game like that, where there's nothing to pay for and there's no reason to have to pay for it.
Far Cry 6 is a pay-to-win game. You can buy, and Far Cry 5, they gave you a gun from Mars. That was a laser gun. That was more powerful than every gun literally and obviously in the game because everybody in this universe was human. In Far Cry 6, you get a gun in the first hours of the game that is literally the most powerful gun that you need. You can kill everything with one shot because you give it armor-piercing bullets and a silencer. Nothing can stop you.
Wow.
Why? Why in video games do they think that is that's acceptable? Like, oh, well, you can just craft whatever you want. So obviously, someone will just craft this combination together on their own and figure it out. Not in the first 20 minutes of your game.
Wow. Yeah, because then there's nothing to work towards.
Exactly, which is the ultimate gripe.
Exactly. See, it's fun to go back once you beat the game with the ultimate weapon, then to slaughter everybody. But it's not fun to slaughter everybody while you're playing the game first time through. But I think sometimes game developers don't think about that, and I think that sometimes they're thinking too much about money and not enough about games. And I think that's from going back to Nintendo. That's kind of what I feel like people are dealing with when it comes to Nintendo. People were talking about Metroid Dread, right? And Nintendo is notorious for having the $60 games in a $30 game era. And that's something that people don't like about Nintendo, and myself included. Like the fact that Ultimate is still $60, like, goddamn, bro, this game's old. But fighting games do the same thing, bro. Fighting games do the same thing. Fighting games do not go on discount, bro. They do not go on discount. If you got a fighting game on a discount, bro, you are lucky. All right.
Yeah.
And it ain't about to be more than 25%. That's the max. That is the max. They're like, we'll give you 25%, but you gotta buy the bundle. You gotta buy the fucking bundle. Nintendo is the same way.
During the pandemic, a lot of fighting games were on sale. I picked up a lot during that time, but that was rare. Like he said, it ain't happening every week. That ain't happening every day. That was a rare occurrence.
No, it is.
Opportunity over time. When I worked at GameStop, never ever did Nintendo go on sale. Ever. It was $49 at launch, and it was $49 when every other game, even during Black Friday sales, they went down maybe $5, but it was Nintendo doesn't really do sales, man. They're not about that life, and I don't blame them.
They're not, and I don't think that they're making as much money as Xbox or PlayStation. I think that's why they have to choose more expensive games. Somebody's like, I didn't want to pay $60 for 8 to 10 hours worth of gameplay, and I'm like, that's kind of what you get with Nintendo. That's what Nintendo's been all about. They've been like about shorter, tighter games, not no like super crazy out there games. The most out there game that they've ever produced is Breath of the Wild. That's literally the biggest game that they've produced. I
don't even think Ocarina of Time was more than 30 hours when you really sit down and like. No. But I'm saying that being very gracious, because I think
I'm saying, bro, you could beat it in less than that. Like Ocarina of Time was 30 hours when you were a kid. I'm being, you fucking playing around and shit.
Trying to be real nice, like maybe, but like
exactly. You're gonna go chop some chickens up and shit.
Yeah, Super Mario wasn't that long either. Yeah, still, Super Mario Sunshine, you could beat that with 60 sprites. Like if you got 60 sprites, you were done with the game. That's crazy. Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was pretty good too, but that was again before the era of DLC. Look, all right, like
GoldenEye,
really
bro.
Hard.
GoldenEye, you could beat in one sitting.
Yes, that is true. You can beat that game in 20 minutes.
20 minutes, man. Like you just sit there, pop, 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 pop. And next thing you know, you throwing a knife in a nigga's crotch. You're just like, yep, I'm picking up keys off the wall with my watch, throwing knives at niggas. The game's done.
Unfortunately, that is a product of the time, though. A lot of those games didn't have the processing power to be able to be made to be better. And that, again, I think honestly, that is what made it so good. I mean, because with the pay-to-win model, kids, the reason why I hate this so much, okay, you have to understand that my hatred for this is absolute. And why is that? I come from an era when you could buy a full video game and then buy DLC after the fact. At some point, developers stopped doing that, and they just were like, well, we're just going to release the game, and then you, the consumer, just have to, suffer for it. How is that fair? How is it fair that we, the players, have to suffer for the casuals? Like Destiny 1, okay? Oh Can we talk about the launch of Destiny 1? We want to talk about pay models, okay? Destiny 1, let me just put this out here right now. I do not blame Bungie for anything that happened with Destiny, from Destiny 1 all the way to the end of Destiny 2 to even right now. Right now, Destiny 2 is a game worth playing. If, and only if, you have already been playing Destiny. If you are a new player, don't even touch it. It's not worth it. Not at all. But why am I so hard on Destiny 1? Number one, $10 million for marketing between both games. Okay. Number two, this is a game that was supposed to have a story, and the story for the game was on a separate server. Okay. I want you to hear me when I say that. Destiny was a game that was supposed to be a space opera, and the opera was on a separate server. You have to collect all the Grimoire cards and put all the Grimoire cards together, and then you get the story of Destiny. Okay, the last time that somebody tried to pull something off like that was Kingdom Hearts 2 with the Ansem files. If you got all the Ansem files together and read them in sequence, oh my God, Kingdom Hearts 2 became a totally different experience. And I was like, what the? This actually has a story? There's depth to this? Like, no wonder people be sitting there like, no, you really don't understand Kingdom Hearts. You don't know. I'm like, you're right. I really didn't. And then I read the Ansem files and I was like, all right, now I see now I see why you guys are defending this game so hard. But you have to do that. It's in the game. Why the Grimoire cards, I collected all the Ansem files, by the way. Why the Grimoire cards are so terrible and trash. Number one, it's not story. That's trading cards. Number two, I paid money for you to tell me a story in your game, and all I get is weak ass Peter Dinklage. Okay. Now, here's where the predatory nature of Activision comes into Destiny. Okay. It's not the shaders, it's not the DLC, because they gave you the Vault of Glass for free. The illusion of free. Okay. We can talk about the pay to win model in phone mobile games. That's coming up next, kids. But Destiny released its DLC for free, air quotes. Underneath that DLC, that free DLC, were what? Orbs. And those orbs you had to either collect, or for a small fee of $5.99, you could just what, kids? Buy them. What is that? Is that not what predatory monitoring? Yes, they get you hooked. Then they hit you with the, oh yeah, here. Oh, you want more? Okay, we gotta pay us. Oh, you want that cool gun? You gotta pay us. You want to skip the line because of Xur? Remember Xur? You want to skip the line for Xur? You just buy the tokens. Why is this dude even here? I mean, because Destiny 1 had some really good ideas. Like, it had really good base ideas, but it was just drowned by the fact that the game was locked behind a wall that no one ever even asked for. Like, man, you play DC Online, right? DC Online had a legend system that you had to pay for. And in that legend system, you got access to premium DLC, and you also got access to create clans, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yep, correct.
As a year one player of DC Universe, it doesn't matter if I play on Xbox, PC, or PlayStation. As a year one player, I get access to a premium account for free because I've been playing for so long. Like, that game is almost kids 15 years old at this point.
Wow.
Which, yeah, kudos to them, man, because I didn't think that game was gonna last. Yeah,
I didn't think they thought that was gonna last for that long. I wish City Heroes didn't flop, honestly, but that's another story.
Hey man, that is another story. But they, again, a lot of these studios crumbled because they either went on to better things or they were bought out, or EA. So yeah, anyways, DC Universe, the same deal, right? But their pay to win, they didn't have a pay to win model. Like, you couldn't buy, there was like those armor sets that they had, like in the league bases, were about the only most exotic armors you could get, and you couldn't really pay for those. You had to play through the thing to get them. I only got like 3 pieces, to be honest, in the entire 10 years I've been playing that game. I've only ever gotten 3 pieces out of those chests. That is dedication. And it makes me keep wanting to come back because I want the pieces. You see what I'm saying? And they actually do something cosmetically to my character, which enriches the story behind the character that you make in the game, because that is a true MMO to the point where you can write your character's bio. Like, what the DC Universe, bro, for the win, man.
No, that's deep. That's deep. I was gonna ask, like, are there models, like paid gaming models, that you actually like or that you think are dope?
That I actually think is dope. Okay. Again, like I said before, I do like to pay models in fighting games. I don't get mad at that. Like, I honestly, to be 110% honest, since this is our chat, this is our space. I may talk shit about DLC, but in fighting games, I genuinely respect it. I almost need it, per se. Like, I love to be able to look there and see, like, oh, here's a character. Let me buy that character because I love and support the games, because most studios that make fighting games only make fighting games. You understand what I'm saying? And therefore, if I'm going to continue to enjoy this craft, I at least have to show some form of, something besides just buying their game. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that to me shows respect. Like, if your fighting game is good enough for me to want to invest in buying your characters, like King of Fighters.
Yeah.
I just bought Blue Mary not too long ago, right? I don't even.
And the old one?
Yeah, in like 15, the last one they 15? Came out. Yeah, I don't even play that game that hard, but I saw Mary was in there, and I was like, you know what? I was smoking with Mary, so let me pick her up real quick. You were smoking me with Mary. And see what it do. So, Kingdom Sora, like, I'll buy Sora in Smash Bros. Because I love Super Smash Bros. I've been playing Super Smash Bros. Since number 1 back on the 64. When I didn't have a 64.
And look, hey, Nintendo might bring back Smash Brothers on 64. They might bring back Melee. Just saying. They have been really riding that train of stopping motherfuckers from buying illegal copies of the shit. Just saying.
God, that would be fun. That would be fun.
It would be fun. It would be fun. And then niggas can stop complaining about having the what is it? The freaking other M version or whatever of Melee. And Nintendo can bring it back, and you will be able to play Melee with some decent netcode.
That'd be cool.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
And you can have your tournaments, and Nintendo can support you.
There you go. Devil May Cry 4 and 5 had DLC feature, and they did a double thing. So they did one with Devil May Cry 4 where they had DLC, and then they released a special edition, which we can get into that really quickly. I hate video games who do that. If you're gonna release DLC for single player games now, I kind of wait, because it almost seems like a slap in the face. Because you might as well just wait for them to release the Game of the Year edition at the end of the year. Metroid, the Metroid 2033 series, I bought that, and then I'll go
Metro 2033.
Yeah, Metro 2033, and I'll circle into another one real quick too, because I just thought about it. So Metro 2033, I bought that as a pack, and I got all 3 games and the DLC for all the games in one bundle. That's dope. When you can do it like that, do it like that always. I never played Metroid. I never played Metro 2033 like that, so it was pretty cool. And honestly, I don't hate it. I like it. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. It's good to fight for the mother Russia. Duh.
That one would be a good one to play for the horror game series.
Hey, it is definitely a horror game.
It is.
Technically.
It is. That game is scary, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, why'd I mention that? Because I want to circle into something that was interesting to me. Mass Effect. Okay. They just re-released Mass Effect at the beginning of the year. It was a remake. Boy, how do
nowadays?
Yeah. Now, somebody made a very good point. There's a difference between a remake and it's a remake, and then what's the other one they do?
A remaster.
When they remaster. So, with the remake of Spyro the Dragon, if you've never played Spyro the Dragon, the first game had a fixed camera. In the remake, they changed it, and you can move the camera around, right? Mass Effect was a reskin. So basically,
Yeah, it
they
was a
took it and
remaster.
it's a
Same
remaster. So they
engine,
same
same
engine,
characters, same models.
same
They just made
everything,
them look a little bit better.
and they added all the DLC back. Now, why is that hilarious? Well, I'm gonna tell you, kids,
But
that shit is a ripoff.
and because you can play Mass Effect 3, but you can't play the multiplayer.
Which, don't worry though, kids. That's what I was gonna mention too. I was going to go into that. So, Mass Effect 3. Okay, why is that game the pillar of fucking shitty microtransactions? There was
that
a
was the
guy,
worst one.
B. Dobbins.
The ending.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all fucked the whole ending of a game. The whole ending of a great trilogy that could have ended like God of War. But instead it ended like God of Ass. God of
Now,
Trash, alright?
there
GOT. Because God of Ass actually sounds kind of good. But God of Trash. Okay.
There was a YouTuber, his name is B. Dobbins, and he made a very good video about Mass Effect 3 and the DLC that accompanied it. But what was so interesting about his video was that he said something that stuck with me. I played Mass Effect 3, the multiplayer. He loved it. He was like, it was great. It was awesome. It was the shit. Then he was like, and my cousin came over one day. He played it for like 10 minutes. He fell in love with it. Went home, bought it, put $20, $30 down for the DLC, and was immediately the same level I was. I've been playing this game for 20 plus hours, and my cousin did this in literally 20 minutes. He was like, after that, I put the game down and never bought DLC again. Let me ask you, chat, can you really be mad at him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But that a lot of games are like that, and that's the thing. Like Call of Duty is like that. Okay. The only games that are not really like that are fighting games. The fighting games can be like that because a lot of fighting game characters that they release as DLC, a lot of folks say are pay to win. And to a large extent, I agree with that because some of the characters are really OP. Not all of them, but a lot of them become OP. Kazuya in Smash. How many sword characters do we got? Terry when he first came out, hella OP. Joker.
Oh yeah. Terry, I think, is probably the worst case of an OP character coming into a world where he ain't got no place. Like, that's the other thing too. Another thing that makes fighting game character DLC so great is you can see characters that ain't got no place in places. Hellboy fighting Batman. When will you ever see that? Okay.
Thanks.
Now, yes, the Ninja Turtles did team up with Batman, so I can't say that is that's crazy because Ninja Turtles go everywhere. They meet up with the Power Rangers.
Exactly, but no, that got some cool shit. But so a lot of games are pay to win, but some games are much more pay to win than others. And sad to say, like shooting games are among the highest in that pay to win model. They love to give people overpowered guns. Yeah, and mobiles. They give you all the boosts and all the shit to let you get past every person quicker. And I think we can go ahead and start get into this conversation with mobile games. I feel like that's the highest level of mobile games though. Like they want you coming back every day. They want you to pay for the monthly like subscription or whatever. They want you maybe to like buy some kind of in-game currency so that you can open the chest and like get whatever good shit, and so you can always have boosts going, bro. And I can't get into that. I cannot get into it.
Okay, so I don't really play mobile games. There's only one I ever really liked, and that was Angry Birds Star Wars 2. Yep.
Hey, I used to like the Star Wars. They had Star Wars like a Battlefield Star Wars game. That shit was actually nice.
Now, this Angry Birds game was great, and you got to play as all these different little versions of your favorite Star Wars heroes and villains. I really wanted Darth Vader. I wanted Darth Vader really bad. You could get him with points, or just don't play the game for a couple days, and they might just give you Darth Vader just for shits and giggles. But you could buy Darth Vader for 99 cents. Terrible, okay? Terrible. You want to get through levels faster? Oh, just buy a boomerang for 99 cents. Oh my god. What the every
Candy
five
Crush.
yep,
It's
in
like you're
every
not smart
game.
enough to solve this. Just spend $1, get a lollipop, and that'll solve the problem for you. One lollipop didn't work. Sorry. Try 3 lollipops next time.
Oh, and Temple Run. I actually spent money on Temple Run. I bought I think it was Bruce Lee because they added Bruce Lee as a DLC character in Temple Run.
That's hilarious. My boy said Bruce Lee and Temple Run. That's
Oh yeah,
hella
no,
funny.
no Temple Run. What was another one I actually really spent money on? Oh, PlayStation Home. Oh
PlayStation
my
Home.
god. Oh,
Hey,
they say
I'll
it's
spend a little money
suckers.
on Clash of Clans just to get my level up. So I
Man,
was playing with my partner.
see, and that's it. That's how they get you. Okay, China, right? If you guys want to know why the mobile market is so big, China has one of the fastest growing cell phone gaming markets in the world because it's cheap, it's easy, and it's effective to get people to in China to spend their money on it, right? Bro, Blizzard was bought out by a Chinese company exclusively so they could make mobile titles.
Huh?
Yep, Blizzard, the guys who made World of Warcraft, who run those servers, got bought out by a Chinese company just so they could make mobile games. When that whole announcement, Diablo is gonna be on mobile, that was for China, and that was one of the best. If you never watched that, go watch that shit on YouTube because that's one of the best press
Bro,
releases of all time. So the
that's
next
crazy.
the next Diablo will be a mobile release. Yes. Is that an out of season April Fool's joke?
I wish it was an April Fool's joke. That sounds crazy. Crazy as heck, bro. Like, what the heck are they doing? Like, why do they do that? But that's what a lot of these gaming companies are going towards because there's a lot of money in mobile. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at
Billions.
Raid Shadow Legends, bro. Like, everybody
Oh,
named Mom is eating off that game.
and you know why? If you ever hear anybody on YouTube talk about Raid Shadow Legends in their game, they got paid $1,700 and they're reading a script. That's why they all sound the same. Yep.
$1,700. I'll take the
Yep.
1,700, bro. Give me
Yep.
1,700. I'll read the script right now. Raid Shadow Legends. It's a great game. The action's really good. You know what I'm saying? I
Hey.
love the graphics. They're so dope.
Oh
And
man.
get
I'm
Raycon
mad if
earbuds.
you hey, and if you, oh, I know, right? Hey, if you guys use our code, BMM 2474, you gonna get an extra bit in Raid Shadow Legends. Check it out.
Exactly. Check
Check
it
it
out.
out. Ah!
For real. For real.
Nah, but like that's hella crazy, man. Like how that pay to win model really just took over the world, bro. Like,
It did,
man,
bro.
and then it's not just video games. Look at influencers. Influencers are literal pay to win people in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Like, pay money to get your video in front of X amount of people. Get your song out in front of X amount of people. Get your YouTube, get your whatever. And I think that's like kind of indicative of the situation that we live in America. And everything just becomes about money. People,
You can buy everything or anything for that matter. What they
you
say
can buy
for enough
anybody.
money.
You know what
Yep,
I'm
for
saying?
enough money you can buy whoever you want.
You can buy whatever you want. You can buy a lot of things, but you can't buy love.
That's what
Okay.
they tell you. I mean, man, look, there's a sugar daddy TikTok that'll say otherwise.
No, that's
Okay.
facts. It's straight up. That's the sugar daddy TikTok. He's like, bro, you can buy love, bro. I
You can
bought
buy
love. Like,
whatever.
this girl really
Yeah,
loves me.
for real. She loves my money.
He's like, she loves my money. It's my money, therefore she loves me. It's like, nah, bro, that's not how it works. But, son, going back to good models for gaming, I do like uh, the fighting game model. I also like monthly subscription models. I played ESO for a long time, and I was not mad about paying a monthly subscription for that game. I played a lot of Gundam Battle Operation 2. It doesn't have a monthly subscription, but if their servers were better and it was easier to find and match, I would pay a monthly subscription for that game. I like it that much, and I pay for a lot of things in that game. And I consider my monthly subscription. I'm like, this is me giving back to the makers of the game because I really support the game and I love it. I want to see the game grow from here. Um, when it's just cosmetic stuff, I don't mind that because then I don't gotta buy it. I think about buying it, but I don't have to. So I don't mind shit like that when it's purely cosmetic. Like for example, Rogue Company. Rogue Company is free, and you get all the game, guns, and all the shit at the beginning of the game, and it just comes down to skill. Any other kind of special shit you could buy, but you could also grind, you could earn. And League of Legends has a model like that, where you could get characters, but you could also buy them if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You could grind and earn them, or you could buy them. So when they're solid and the balance is good, then I don't mind.
That's fair. That is definitely fair. I mean, like I said, I don't mind buying it for fighting games. I'm gonna buy Sora when Sora comes out. I bought Kazuya. I bought fucking Ryu when Ryu was DLC for the last one. I bought the Street Fighter Season Pass when that was available because I freaking love Street Fighter. I bought Mortal Kombat Season Pass. Bought all the DLC for that. Bought all the extra stuff. The only thing I missed out on was the special Scarlet outfit. If anybody in chat knows how to get that Cosmonaut Scarlet, let me know because that outfit is fire. Other than that, I mean, like Spider-Man, I bought the DLC for Spider-Man. Like if it's a game I really like, like I said, I bought the season pass for Batman. One of the worst season passes I've ever bought was, besides Arkham, buying it blindly, would have to go to Deus Ex. The newest Deus Ex, was it Human Revolution? No.
Yeah, Human Evolution?
Yeah. Because the first one was like what? No, first is Mankind Divided. That's the newest one.
Oh yeah, Mankind Divided.
And that shit was trash. And that was also a game that was interfered with by the publisher, not Square Enix, but Square. It was Square Enix because Eidos Montreal had got bought out by Square Enix before that game came out. There it is. And they split it up.
They had somebody else work on the bosses, and that made it off for the game because they completely designed for a different game. Really, they're like, we're gonna design for Crisis, and they're like, this game is not Crisis.
Yep.
Like you just made my build obsolete. Fuck you.
Yep. Which is why that game failed on many levels and killed Deus Ex as a franchise. Stopped it dead in the water. I mean that's what happens when you have predatory practices with these freaking companies that get to run wild, and then we have games like Destiny that we don't hold the developers accountable for. Okay,
it's sometimes the developer, sometimes it's the studio. Like I don't know about it specifically in Destiny, but also Bungie having another studio work on the next Halo series and the other Halo series after what is it?
But that wasn't their fault though. That wasn't them.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's their fault, but it's things like that happen. Where like one company will work on a game for a very long time, then that company will get bought out, dissolved, and then some other company will work on the game, and it won't be the same. Like Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid 4, masterpiece.
Let's not talk about the greatness that is Metal Gear Solid. Also on PS now, by the way, Metal Gear Solid 4. It's the only way you can play it.
Metal Gear Solid is a masterpiece of a game.
Absolutely.
But Metal Gear Solid 5 is an unfinished mess because they kicked Hideo Kojima out, and he couldn't work on his fucking game. He fucking made that game. That game is not shit without him. Okay,
it is
not shit without him, and it's so apparent and it's so obvious, right?
They only kicked him out because he wanted to end it.
Yes, and because he knew it, because it was time. It was fucking time for the end.
Yes.
But what did they do after they finished that slap out of Metal Gear Solid 5? Which, hold on, the multiplayer in that game, nice. I don't care what nobody says. I fucking love the multiplayer in Metal Gear Solid 5. Fuck the game. What did they do? They make Metal Gear Survival.
Let's not. Okay, no.
Bro.
Okay,
bro.
Okay, so for
Peace
everybody out there,
Walker,
hold on. Let me
Survival. What is the other PSP only title? Why, bro?
let me say this in Metal Gear's defense, okay? In Metal Gear's defense, this is my only one too, because I hate that. I hate Metal Gear Survive. Okay, now in the defense of Hideo Kojima, he had absolutely nothing to do with that. In Metal Gear Solid 5, like I said before, they only made it that way because they kicked him out because he wanted to end it. They buried the fucking franchise of Metal Gear Survive, and they did that on purpose. They knew exactly what they were doing when they made that game. There was no flukes, there was no questions. They knew exactly what they were doing because they wanted to bury this nigga's name, like they did the nuclear, like they did the Tesla. Bruh, that's fucked up.
Like they did the Tesla.
It was like, that nigga bro. Tesla was making time machines and shit. He was trying to give the niggers power. He had to go. Bro, what?
That's hilarious, yo. That is hilarious.
So, man, and then to add insult to injury, if you go on the PlayStation Store and look for Metal Gear Solid 5, you can find the complete edition. It's not a director's cut. It's not anything extra. It's literally just the part that Hideo Kojima worked on all the way up until the end, right? And then they go back and they put in the ending that Hideo Kojima had. Why?
Because they knew his shit was better. And they fucking ran them off, try to get more money out the game. They try to get more money out the franchise.
They pulled a Dave Chappelle, basically. And if you've never played Metal Gear Solid 4, oh my God, are you missing out?
You know what? That game is in my top 3 games of all time, bro. Top 3 of all time. I love that game. I tell people all the time, I'm not the kind of person who cries about things ever. Okay, ever. I cried when my son was born. And I almost cried when I was playing Metal Gear Solid 4. I was real close to tears, boy. I had to bat my eyelash a couple times playing that game because it was that sentimental and it was that real and it was that deep, right? And that's a love child of Hideo Kojima. That his decisions on that are not affected by how much money he's gonna make off the game, are not affected by trying to sell DLC or trying to sell like fucking pay to win items or cosmetic items in the game later on, bro. It wasn't about any of that. It was like gaming direction at its pure core. Just very, very, very high level art, very high level story, all that kind of shit. It's nice. But you don't see that a lot.
Nope. On a side note too, if it wasn't for Metal Gear Solid, I would not have gotten into looking more into our governments and how they are, because like the way he made Metal Gear Solid 2 all the way up into the end, it was one of those things that was like, damn, man, maybe really some shit crazy. It's really just that easy. Like these,
yes, bro.
This, like it was nothing. Like, oh, hey, look, we just took over the world like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Straight up took it over. Straight up took it over.
Like, and here, for all of you who don't know, Big Boss in Metal Gear was actually right. He was right. He at the end of everything. He was right. He knew exactly what he was doing in Metal Gear Solid 1. He knew exactly what he was doing in Metal Gear Solid 4. And like, oh my God.
Yep. And it could have ended. It could have ended right there. But then corporate greed steps his hand in. You know, like we need another Metal Gear Solid game.
3 Big Boss games. 3. The 2 PSP games, and then Metal Gear Solid 5. Which was trash.
No, also 3. Snake Eater.
Well,
that is it. I mean, that's a good game though.
No. That is top 5 of my all-time favorite video games, which is hilarious. Right there with freaking Metal Gear Solid 4. Like that's how good Metal Gear is. It's 2 slots. Two slots.
I could give Metal Gear 2 slots. Because number 3 was good. And you know a game is good when you go back and you play it again. The same story, not no special shit or nothing, just play it over again just to experience the storyline again, bro. But also, get that fucking sunlight gun with the plus shit. Come on, bro.
Hey, yeah,
Exactly.
it's about to go down like that. You like, oh, God! That's like getting the see Resident Evil 4.
Hmm.
There was no pay to win DLC for that, and just for the fans for the remake for PS2, they added in a special gun that you could get if you beat the game on professional mode. That right there, that is love for the fans. That's
Hmm.
what games are missing out on. Okay.
Exactly. And Metal Gear Solid 3 was just like that. But you're talking about three trash games with Big Boss in them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. The two on the PSP was useless. Nobody asked for that bullshit. And then fucking five. But like I said, I will defend the multiplayer of five to the death of me. It's just like it never picked up because it was like kind of a side note. And I mean, if I don't know why the fuck they made Survive like they did. If they made Survive more like Metal Gear Solid 5, then I think people would have played it. It would have been a solid game. But they weren't
But
thinking about that kind of shit.
they wouldn't have done anything in that game. It would have been great. They would have just left it on the. Who the fuck wants to play zombie? What is that? Like, what is
Metal
that?
Gear
Then they was like,
Zombies, bro.
this was Huddle's last game. No, it wasn't. He didn't want to make that. He never wanted to make that. That's trash, bro.
That is
Like that is
exactly. That
utter
is
garbage. Utter
straight
garbage.
garbage. Straight garbage.
I
And that's
uh,
that I think is the wedge that we're in between right now when it comes to video games. On one side you have extreme pay to win models like Fortnite, not pay to win models, but you have extremely like money driven models like Fortnite, right? And then you have models that are not really about making money like that, like Killer Instinct, for example. I don't even know how they made so much shit for that game. I'm like, where
man.
y'all getting money from, Killer Instinct?
General Rom, the Arbiter,
The art,
Battletoads,
Battletoads, bro. I'm like, bro, like,
Battletoads, dude, bro. Like what?
bro,
Oh yeah, they had some crazy DLC.
That's some crazy DLC. The shit's free. The shit is free, bro. You can get the shit for free. Like, where y'all making money at, bro? But so that game's a straight passion project. But you have those two into the model, and most of these developers fall somewhere in the middle, and it's like, you want to support a gaming company, but then it's hard to support people when they're just trying to suck you dry, like EA. Like
No,
EA games, I can't. It's hard for me to fuck with them. Awesome.
and they weren't like that. They weren't like that before. I remember when it was
they
just
weren't. They was good.
EA Sports.
It's
It's in the game.
Like that was
You ever
nice.
played
That was nice, bro.
You ever
Yes.
played 2000? Bro, that game was lit. When
All
EA
the
was
all
like,
the MOB games, bro.
all we want to do is make video games, bro. They had like all the college games, all the sports. But that's what happened, man. That rivalry between them and 2K is what showed them that they could really be making money on this shit.
Exactly.
And when they secured the rights to Madden, because Madden was for both. Madden was on 2K and he was on EA.
Mm-hmm.
And then EA was like, yeah, we're just gonna buy him straight out. So they bought him out.
Real.
Then they bought the rights to the NFL straight out. And that was it. The rest is history.
Exactly.
The rest is Madden 2000 up to where we are today.
Yeah, Madden 2000, like, what is it, 5 or 8 or some shit? Exactly.
Madden 96, Madden 94, I think was the first one. If it wasn't 4, it was 96.
And, those games, they just crank those games out every year. Sometimes they good, sometimes they trash. Like, and even 2K. 2K falls to the same thing. 2K21 is universally held as trash. But 2K22 is pay to win. 2K22, a lot of people are liking, but it's the same pay to win model. And they had you buy the game last year. They had you buy the game the year before that. They had you pay $100 for this. You gotta still grind. Then you're probably gonna pay for some VC, make a second character, get some more money off that. And it's like at a certain point, bro, I'm just tired of it. Like these kids in my school, they're like, bro, why don't you play 2K22? I'm like, I don't have the time for that. I'm not about to be spending hella money on it. First of all, second of all, I'm not about to be grinding for hella long trying to get this shit.
Now, I know we'd already had a piece on fighting games because I do want to get back to 2K, but I just want to say that the most egregious fighting game out there, and it is one that is close to my heart. I love Dead or Alive, but Dead or Alive 6
Oh my
as
god, bro.
the absolute most predatory fucking
Yes.
DLC. $1,000 for all the DLC. And you think that's a joke, but go look it up on Steam. It is literally $1,000. If you want to buy that game in all of its entirety, you have to spend $1,000. There's no way around it.
No, that's fact.
This is a free game.
It is a free game. They give you like 6 or 7 characters for free. Then you got to get the DLC for all the other characters, all the rest of the DLC, and I think for some of the other modes too. I think some of the other game modes you need DLC for, and the rest of it is like fucking cosmetic items and jiggle physics. Okay, that game makes its living off jiggle physics, and it was such a good fighting game. But they were like, we're not trying to make a fighting game. We're just trying to make a soft hentai game.
Pretty much.
Disguised as a fighter. And we're going to make a lot of money off that game.
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
And Extreme Beach Volleyball too.
Yep, they made a sequel to that. I bought both of them. I bought both of them because I love volleyball. Yeah, right. Not at all. I bought them because you got to see
volleyball's my favorite sport, bro.
Right, big titty, just running around. I'm never forget the commercials for that shit when they had all those dudes like Dead or Alive. That's where it's at. By the way, the creator of Dead or Alive is a literal rock star in Japan. So don't think that his games is off the ball, because to him, that's just, it is what it is, bruh. It's like, yep, I do what I want. I don't give a fuck. Could you not make dope?
I'm not doing that.
Not at all.
I'm gonna allow you to control the jiggle physics now.
For real, like, do you not know I made Ninja Gaiden Black, bro? You ever played that Ryu Hayabusa? I made that the shit. Like, yeah, that's facts though. Facts.
No, it is facts. That's a hard ass game too. One of the hardest games of all time.
All time. Like, y'all be talking about Dark Souls. Kids be like, oh,
this is the original Dark Souls.
This is the original, like, oh my god, that was a rite of passage for gamers. I did not beat Ninja Gaiden Black. I'm not even gonna sit here and try and be like, yeah, I was supposed to beat that game. Nope. That shit was hella hard.
It still is hella hard. It's I'm not gonna play it the same way I'm not playing Dark Souls.
Yep. Oh yeah, no. And people be like, oh, you should play it. It's a fun game. Look, I played the Surge, and that's the closest I'm gonna get to Dark Souls, and that's it. And people and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, because I genuinely love samurai. I will die on the hill of that game. Is awesome, even though playing it saps my soul and makes me want to die 1,000 deaths. But
I can't do it, dog. I got that game. Can't do it.
Yep.
I accidentally bought that game because I thought it was the one on PlayStation.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's how they got you.
It is. I was like, oh, it's not Ghost of Tsushima's on Xbox too, but it's called Sekiro Die Twice. Okay, great. Wrong. It's not. It's a whole different ass game. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Hey, so here's another one too. So Sekiro. All right. So Ghost of Tsushima, right? I was on the team of the amateur playtesters for this, right? And I remember making a comment in the break room that the multiplayer for Ghost of Tsushima was going to be just another cash grab for Sony, which it is if you have never played it. And they laughed at me, and I'm like, I don't know why you laughing. Because this is what I just said was real. This was a straight up cash grab. It is a pay to win model. They have like, oh, if you want to get more shuriken, you can just buy more points. Oh my god, why? There was rarity for multiplayer items in this game. Why? This is a samurai game. I have a sword. You should just give me the sword, and I should be able to just run out there and just, and I'm done. But nope, they have to make it this way so they can charge you money for it, because why? Naughty Dog, right? The creators of Ghost of Tsushima, or no, Insomniac. Sorry, right? No,
I think it's Insomniac.
No, Sucker Punch.
Yeah,
Sucker Punch. Right? Sucker Punch does not have a multiplayer game in its category like that. So they had to create one. You know why? Because again, a video game company is backed by a publisher. Those publishers rely on the developers to make good games. Your studio, like Sucker Punch, which is owned by Sony, has a certain quota that they give every section, right? And you got to check all the boxes, which is why when you play certain games, you're like, man, this game feels just like that other one, because it is. They have to check the boxes so they can sell and get the numbers of that other game, or at least close to it, so they can say, oh, look, well, we can do it too. And they move on. This is why companies repeat games. This is why there's Call of Duty clones. You see all these like, oh, this is going to be the next Halo killer, stuff like that. They say these marketing buzzwords because they have to, like that's why No Man's Sky got trashed and ran through the dirt so hard when it failed, because everybody was like, oh, look, these guys suck. They can't do it. They don't. That's mostly coming from big video game companies that want smaller developers to fail because they don't want original ideas in video games because it makes it hard to copy. Facts. Okay. That's the video. That's the secret of the video game universe, kids. It is literally a model of, can we do it? Can we do it better? And if we can do it better, can we do it cheaper?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Isn't it?
It makes a lot of sense. And that's what a lot of game developers are doing. But I see that same kind of model in movies.
Oh, we could talk about that, boy. Oh my God! Like Paranormal Activity, right, is a ripoff of Chronicle. And Saw. Actually, Saw is probably about the most original horror film ever, because dude even said it. Like, we had $10,000 to make this movie.
Saw 1 was good. I'm talking about Saw 6.
Oh no! Yeah, why they drag that shit on for so long? Okay, here's something interesting. The Resident Evil movie franchise started in 2003. Did you know that? And it ended last year, in 2019. Or 2020. Last one was the final chapter, I think, was 2020. Now, yeah, they took a couple breaks in between the movies, but you gotta respect a franchise that was damn near 15 years long on a video game and everybody said those movies was trash every single time they came out. Here comes Mila Jovovich doing some flips. Hey, they made her a household name. You can buy the whole collection of Resident Evil. Resident Evil Mila Jovovich.
It just keeps getting crazier. It just keeps getting wilder. But it actually kind of made sense, though. Most of it made sense, and I think there should be some movies. But
the first two.
Yeah, the first two definitely. The first two, like Armageddon or something like that.
Oh yeah, when they went to the desert.
Yeah.
You know what? I hate that movie because they killed Mike Epps, but and Ashanti.
Yeah.
She was in that movie too. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where you gotta watch the director talk about it, because then it kind of makes it makes a little bit more sense. I won't spoil why they went to the desert. It's not very Resident Evil, but he was, like I said, they were trying to make their own spin on the universe, I guess, which is why we got older creatures like Tyrant from the first Resident Evil games and the later Resident Evil movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it does, and I like that. That's why I like it, because they brought in a lot of characters like that. Yeah, but it's very similar as far as creativity goes. I want to see bigger titles win, or I want to see more unique games win, but it's just too many games right now. There's not enough uniqueness in games. Like Xbox, they have probably, outside of freaking the computer and what is that thing called, Steam, Xbox has the most games. But just like Steam, most of those games is trash. Xbox has all the indie games that you could ever ask for.
And they're garbage.
Garbage. I'm trying to support indie creators, but I would never play this game. I wouldn't play this game for free.
if I could for a second plug one indie game, it would be The Bastion. Okay, that game is awesome. Oh my god! Like you play it and you get a voiceover, which is done by a black guy who unfortunately is not Morgan Freeman, but that game is great. Go check it out. It was done by an indie developer. They made that, and they also made another game called The Transient, which is also pretty cool. And then they did something else after that, and I don't know what that one was, but those two were pretty good. Dead Cells,
Dead Cells, cool.
Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, yes, that's a buster. Check it in.
Shovel Knight, that was an indie developer.
Yep. Also, the one with Sands in it.
Oh yeah.
They just made Deltarune.
Yep. I mean, man,
there are indie games that are good. There's just a lot of ones that are trash.
Stanley Parable.
Yeah, Stanley Parable was good. Stanley Parable was good.
That was a great one. That was a great game.
Hey, this is not like necessarily indie, but a smaller developer. The people who made Yakuza. I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Great game.
Okay. Yeah, Like a Dragon is, but I don't think that's a really good way to gauge a series because that one is in itself is its own self-contained type of thing. Yes, it has been confirmed that the Yakuza games will be headed in that direction in the future. Really? So, yep.
I think it's actually a good turn for the Yakuza games. But the old Yakuza games were fun. I would like to keep that. I heard the story about that game. Like somebody, he jokingly said, "Oh, we're gonna make the next Yakuza game an RPG like," and then people were like, "Yeah, do that." He was like, "You know what? I actually will do that."
I like how they use Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest is quite literally the most. Dragon Quest, if you guys don't know, is the second most recognizable property in Japan. Okay, next to Son Goku. All right, the next thing on there is Dragon Quest. Literally. Like you can literally take the day off in Japan. That's a holiday. If they release a Dragon Quest, you can take the day off so you can go play it. That's how serious serious the Dragon Quest is.
And the dude loves Dragon Quest, the main character, so it makes a lot of sense. And then they use a Dragon Quest kind of model for the game, which is dope. And that is a really dope game. I like the series. This series is long as fuck, so I'm not trying to play all of them. I'm glad I got to jump in with Like a Dragon. But I think that the series as a whole is pretty dope, and I think that they're really good at having a unique way of creating their game. Like it's a really specific game world, and that's why Like a Dragon makes so much sense as far as Yakuza. Like only a Yakuza game would be like, we're just gonna be RPG now. We're just gonna do a whole RPG and have it make sense. And people are like, yeah, that makes sense. Like they didn't get in for an RPG game, but we all enjoyed it.
Yakuza 0, I own Yakuza 0, and I think like Kaguya and one of those, a couple of those.
like Kasame or something like that.
Yeah, I own a couple of Yakuzas. If you guys ever want me to stream them, let me know because I don't mind re-downloading that. But what is so interesting about those that I love the most is I grew up playing like Streets of Rage. I mentioned that on the channel before. Like that's one of my favorite titles of all time. That's up there. So I love those old style beat 'em up games. And when I heard that Yakuza was going to be an RPG, I'm like, damn, I love RPGs too. I might actually have to pick this up. So it's still on my list. I haven't bought it just yet, but I might get it for my birthday.
It's
maybe
free.
Oh, it's on Game Pass?
Game Pass, yes.
Oh,
I downloaded it for free. But you know what? I feel like I know I downloaded the game for free. I feel like it's on Game Pass. But it might have been like one of those games for gold games. I just remember seeing it on the Game Pass shit, and I was like, I gotta get this because I've been wanting to play the game for a minute. Because they gave me all the other Yakuza games, so I'm like, might as well play like.
I think it is. I think it is there. I'll check it out.
Check it out.
See RPGs like that. If you allow me to skip ahead or buy some levels or get some extra equipment, like Assassin's Creed is technically an RPG, and they let you do stuff like that as well. I think that's kind of cool. Like, because I don't have a lot of time anymore like I used to. And I don't know if you ever played an RPG, but most standard RPGs are 100+ hours. Yeah. If you ain't putting, I just re-downloaded Tales of Berseria because I love the Tales series. If you've never played the Tales series, it's great. But I'm sitting there and I'm only on the second area map, and I'm already just like, oh my god, what did I do this
I can
for?
only imagine, yo. I can
What
only
did I do this
imagine.
for? What did I do this for? I don't have time for this. Wild Arms 3, I play that and I'm just like, I wish there was a level skip. But it was that's another game that was created before DLC was like that, like it is today. So, because again, DLC was only really on PC, and it was only
Mm-hmm.
for a certain amount of games. Like it had to be like really big shooters, and then it was only really cosmetics. You didn't really have to pay
Mm-hmm.
our service, World of Warcraft. So you
Yeah.
mentioned pay the online services that you
Mm-hmm.
pay monthly.
Mm-hmm.
I paid for Star Wars Online, the Older Republic. I paid for
Mm-hmm.
that like hardcore, boy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you know, it's funny that you say that. I'm actually about to hop on that right now. I'm about to see what that's hitting for.
man, cause like that game was lit, boy. I love that. Running around with your lightsabers, just maybe all like, oh no, and the way that the game was set up, it was so crazy because it wasn't just like you could play with just the lightsaber. You could also be like a force wizard, or you could be a bounty hunter. So that switched up the game
Mm-hmm.
again. And then
Mm-hmm.
they added blasters and stuff. I'm like, man, yo, they put a lot of thought into this for a free PC game that you could, pay for if you want to. This is pretty good, man.
Yeah,
That's what I love MMOs for that fact. Like, I love an MMO that I can come into at any point. I don't necessarily have to pay for it, but if I want to pay for it, the option is there. I
exactly.
respect games
And I
like
get
that.
benefits, monthly benefits for paying for it. Like ESO.
Exactly.
Like you get bigger space, they give you free gold and other free shit, and it's like if I wanted to buy something from the store, I just pay a month or two or subscription. Like literally, I was like, okay, I want to buy this thing. That's 2 months of subscription. So I subscribe for 2 months, I buy it, easy.
Now, you can easily get blown away by such of these things when you look at games like Eve Online. I believe the name of the game is. I might be wrong on that. But since we're talking about games where you can pay to win or have pay structures, Eve Online, now, again, don't at me at that. I may be wrong at the name, but I think it is Eve Online. It uses real world currency. Okay? If you want to do anything in that game, you have to spend real money. Now, why is this so interesting? Well, the game is in space. And as you know, in space, you can make up what insane ass prices for shit. So they do. And it's lit. It goes anywhere from 25 cents to $2,500. There was one match that lasted for, I want to say, 78 hours, 84 hours, or something like that. Some insane amount of time, right? Mind you, this was between a group of people who were fighting each other online. Now, this requires real cash to fight people.
That's crazy.
Three, I think it was 3 or 4K is what turned out to be the final for that fight.
I'm not gonna fight nobody if I gotta pay money. Fuck that shit.
I mean, and I
Hey, but
want y'all
the
to
other side
understand,
of
like,
it though is niggas do be making money on that game. Niggas be playing that game and
yes,
making
they
real
do.
money.
They
Same way that
do.
they be
And
playing
that's
Second
why,
Life still and making real money.
oh yeah, that's why,
Second
dude.
Life
That's why I
Real.
said the battle lasted so long, was because people were trading amongst other players. People were, you know, jumping from left to right. Everybody was trying to buy out. I mean, basically, it was a war of attrition. It was who has the most money to pay, and why are you paying? Because you can. I mean, why are most of these games doing this shit? Because people want to buy flashy ass cars, and niggas was like, well, shit, I need them motherfuckers to be playing my game. Well, how do I get that? Well, gold guns. You
Gold
ever wonder
guns.
why every game had gold guns all of a sudden?
People in Dubai. It was
Yep.
like,
And
yep,
it's like, oh shit. Because I mean,
the
again,
Dubai discount.
if you guys really want me to be honest and break it down, DLC only needs 4 people to buy it. That's it. That's it. You only need 4 people to really buy DLC. And those 4 people, they need to buy the most expensive DLC piece. And if they do, they've already proven to their investors that it works. So they'll just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did FIFA 2020 22 or FIFA 21 actually, I should say, almost get fucking banned in Europe because it was so predatory. You literally could not open packs in the game. You could not win packs. The packs that you won, you had to open with real money. Okay, so
Yeah,
like,
I heard about that. That's
yeah.
crazy.
So they were like, yeah, no, we that is legit wrong because there's children who play this game. So like, what you doing? What
Yeah,
you doing, laddie?
and
Stealing all your money?
pretty much. I think it's about that time. 840 Thrizzle. I mean, you as gamers, we gotta vote with our money. I don't think that what Nintendo did was wrong. The expansion pack, because you don't even have to buy the shit, and you get hella shit with it, and they give you 8 consoles for $80, bro. That's $10 a console. You're paying $20 a year already. Split the shit with your homies. You got more than 8 people on your fucking Nintendo friends list. I got kids. I'm giving it to my kids. I'm about to really split this with the homies because that makes it cheaper for me, bro. $10 a fucking year to play 64, Sega Genesis, regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and get free DLC from time to time. I don't even play fucking New Horizons, but I will play New Horizons just for the DLC. Just for that.
I feel you.
And you know what? This is something that I think is gonna be actually dope. The fucking save feature. Being able to save on an old 64 game or a fucking regular Nintendo game and come back to it. Oh my god, bro. Oh
yeah, that
do you
like,
know how
many
times I wish I could have saved on fucking Punch Out? I wish. I wish, bro. I wish.
Donkey Kong. Oh, you can Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country, bro. You can save on this shit. You can save and you can come back to it, bro. Oh my goodness. That's it makes my soul feel good. Majora's Mask, bro. You can save. You can save. You can save on Majora's Mask. That shit was so terrible, bro. Like having an actual timed event, and it wasn't even that long, bro. It was like 3 days.
Yeah, it was.
Like nigga, I had to go to school. I had to go to school, bro. I couldn't be playing this game for 3 days straight, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here, bro.
And then the worst part about it was, is if you failed, they made you feel really bad because it wasn't like they just like killed you. No, they killed the whole universe.
The whole universe died, bro. You had to start over, and you're just like, bro. You like, bro. Hold on. They did not start me over, bro. It's not real. That did not just really happen.
I'm about to drop the moon on you. I'm like,
it really was real, bro. I was like, what the fuck? And if it wasn't for cheats, bro, I wouldn't know what to do. I would not have found out what to do.
If it wasn't for Game Informer, shout out Game Informer, shout out G4.
Straight up. Like,
hey man, look, all I know is I ain't paying shit to Nintendo unless I get Beautiful Joe. Okay? I want nice. Beautiful Joe.
That'd be
nice. That is the only game I'd ever fight Capcom to ever bring back. If y'all had never played Beautiful Joe, you are missing the fuck out. Damn. Man, we could do a whole segment on games that y'all ain't never heard of. You missed out on. Okay, Chaos Theory. All right. I think it's called Chaos Theory. It was a Capcom game they made. It's cheap. Devil May Cry. Great game. And Onimusha. Onimusha, great game. But yeah, this has been the show, the podcast show.
For sure, man. You already know what it is. It's your man. And we here with my man's Noir King, and we out. All right, it was
playing the PS5.